The rooftop was deserted, as it usually was at this hour. New York's skyline flickered in the distance, but the only shadows that counted were those moving steadily across the gravel and tar. Jason Todred, who'd moved without sound, toggling the safeties on his pistols. His plan tonight was simple: intercept a high-level exchange between rival gangs, take the money, and send a message. The plan, as it turned out, would not be so simple. Just as Jason reached the edge, something crashed far below. Not the usual metallic clang of trash cans, something heavier, denser. There was a green afterimage even in the city's light pollution. Jason paused. He'd heard rumors. Oh, there was a new wild card in the area force that no criminal in their right mind wanted to deal with. The kind of thing that made men empty entire clips at their feet in a panic and prayed the bullets would do something. A distant gang enforcer with a walkie-talkie started babbling about a monster. Then the rooftop shuddered as something slammed upward, landing with a force that fractured the concrete. Hulk, they called it. Jason didn't flinch. Slowly, he holstered one pistol. Tried to remember every hypothetical Bruce had ever rattled off in the cave. Hulk was not Gotham's usual fare. Gunfire wouldn't work. Intimidation, even less so. Hulk turned, nostrils flaring. The green behemoth towered over him, muscles corded, eyes practically blazing in the darkness. The gangsters tried to scatter too, didn't make it. The rooftop bounced again as Hulk took another step, crushing an air vent flat. Jason assessed. Escape route behind him, likely already compromised. Standoff distance, 18 feet. Hulk had the reach. He took careful, shallow breaths, lowering his weapons. Hey, big guy, he said. It's just you and me up here. Maybe the creature was smarter than it looked. Didn't matter, Hulk charged. Jason moved barely a blur, muscle memory and rehearsal. He rolled to the side as the Hulk's fist impacted where he'd just been, crumpling the rooftop like cardboard. Debris sailed everywhere. He drew a flashbang and lobbed it at close range. The roar was not human. The flashbang was a firefly beside a bonfire. Hulk stumbled, squeezing his eyelids shut, but was otherwise unfazed. Plan B, then. Jason tapped his helmet, activating all sensory filters. He slid under another swinging arm, planted 3 sticky grenades across the green behemoth's side, and dove back, detonating as he somersaulted away. Smoke, noise, shrapnel butt. When it cleared, Hulk stood in the same spot, annoyed. He brushed the fragments off like lint. Jason ducked behind a steel vent, buying seconds. This wasn't a fight he could win, at least, not with force. He'd spent years improvising, thinking faster than his enemies. But most enemies couldn't flip buses. Another crash Hulk, gripping a chunk of the roof itself, looking for the masked nuisance. Jason switched tactics. Distraction, misdirection, every gadget at his disposal. He unleashed tear gas, sent ultrasonic pulses screaming at frequencies only monsters or bats could hear. Hulk only grew angrier. The rooftop cracked, fully chunks of masonry raining into the alley. Jason Dove caught himself on a rusted ladder. He could escape now. But Jason Todd wasn't wired for retreat if the job was unfinished. He looped around, recalculated. Some fights weren't about winning, but surviving, making an impression. Even making a beast pause was a victory if it meant someone else didn't get crushed tonight. He waited until Hulk was poised to leap a signal of motion, and timing it to a split second where the leap's kinetic energy was focused forward. Jason tossed a reinforced cable around the monster's ankle, fired the other end to a rooftop crane. Hulk yanked unconsciously, swinging the entire structure off balance, sending both himself and the gangsters tumbling into a construction site below. Concrete dust exploded upwards, masking most of the chaos. Jason landed 3 rooftops away, ribs throbbing, helmet hummed, flickering. He checked for pursuit. The ground shook as what sounded like a battleship reoriented itself and thundered off into the city's veins. Later, news choppers would claim the Hulk had destroyed a notorious weapons cache in Harlem. No mention of the guy in the red helmet, just another ghost in Gotham, even if tonight he was haunting Manhattan. Jason limped into the darkness, shaking his head. Not victory, not defeat either. But sometimes being the last one standing was all a vigilante could ask for, especially when the other guy was a living force of nature. And that was the night Red Hood learned that. In a world full of monsters, the real strength wasn't winning the fight. It was living to walk away.